vulnerability in our culture.
Right.
Oh, well, you're weak. And it's like, no, the strongest thing you can be is vulnerable, and being willing to be real with yourself and with other people. Like,
100%.
we live in a fake society now, William. I just wish people would just be real. Say what you mean what you say, and move on with your life.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's hard because culture gets it, the society gets in the way because we're afraid to look like a failure. But you have to take that ego off and set it in the corner, and be exposed, and maybe you'll be attacked when you're like that, and that's okay. You'll get through it. You're not going to die. Although we do fear death sometimes when we're in there. We feel like we're going to die. But take that ego off and set it in the corner. But really, naked is the mindset about it. It's about never quit. The N stands for never quit. And I'll kind of go over each one of these a little bit. Never quit. The A is accept failure. The K is to kill mediocrity. The E is expose your fears, and we've talked about fear a good bit. And the D is do the work, because you can't improve your life without doing work to physically go forth and take action. So in order to remember that acronym a little bit better, I put the word GET in front of it because we're talking about taking action. So to think like a Navy SEAL, to use these 5 SEAL secrets, you have to get naked. And so that's the motto that I live by, and that's what I really teach people. And you can apply these 5 SEAL secrets into pretty much anything you do in your life. But what I tell people is, don't focus on all 5, or don't focus on your entire life or everything that's going on in your life. Focus on one area in your life that you need to improve. What area do you want to improve over everything else? And then take these 5 secrets of never quit, accept failure, kill mediocrity, expose your fears, and do the work, and apply them to that one area. And once you master that one area of your life with these 5 SEAL secrets, then apply it to the next area, and then the next, and then the next.
The hard part, though, William, is convincing people of those 5 things, because there's a lot of narratives, there's a lot of things people believe just because they believe them. And it's kind of this thing that they've told themselves that they're a certain way. And so when you start talking about trying to overcome mediocrity and to face your fears, people are like, but I am mediocre, but I am fearful, but I am. And it's like they identify so strongly in certain areas of their life that when you try to say, well, implement this get naked strategy, it doesn't compute. So how do you penetrate that resistance, the imposter syndrome, the whatever you want to call it, that people feel like they're faking it to make it real for them?
Dude, I have the most imposter syndrome of anyone I know. And I'm like, why does anyone want to listen to me? But as I've gone through this journey, I've figured it out. And it's not easy, and it takes practice. And this is like working out. It's like, if you want to have strong muscles, you have to go to the gym and you have to break them down and then build them back up. If you want to be a better runner, you have to run. If you want to be a better reader, you want to have more knowledge in your head, you have to read. You have to write if you want to be a better writer. And so if you want to improve your life, you have to take action and do it. It doesn't have to be all at one time. And I encourage everyone to not do it all at one time. That's why I say pick one spot. Don't try to change your whole life. Pick one thing and work on that one thing every single day. Whether it's just like getting out of bed on time when your alarm clock goes off, or going to bed, which is the hardest thing for me, is going to bed when I'm supposed to.
I've heard
and planning out the day.
I've heard
CBD does help. It's a game changer. Game changer for me anyway. So when I say never quit, I don't mean like never quit, getting out of a toxic relationship. Like if you're in a bad relationship, get out of that thing. Don't stay in there. Like never quit on yourself. Never quit on trying to improve your life, improve your quality of life. Never, if you've started a project, a program, maybe a degree, you want to start a company, you want to write a book, like if it was good enough and it was bold enough and it was hard enough for you to like go through the mental gymnastics to decide, yes, I'm going to do this, then you should take it all the way to the end. Yes. It doesn't matter what it is. And whatever that end looks like, it doesn't matter what the end looks like. Take it to the end. And so and if it's hard, that's good. Because if it's hard to do, then not everyone is going to try to do it. You know, there's a saying out there, it's something like the 1% do what the 99% don't want to do. Yeah. Something along those lines. So So do hard stuff and then finish it. And so, but you can't finish it all in one day. You can't, maybe not all in 1 week or 1 year. Maybe it's going to be a 10-year thing, but as long as you do it every single day, you're going to get it done. You're going to finish it. And there's the saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, but I guarantee you it was built every single day until it became an empire. Yes. And so we have this week during SEAL training. It's one week of the 26 weeks. It's called Hell Week, and it's 5.5 days of no sleep. You don't sleep. You're cold, you're wet, you're miserable. You carry this boat around on your head. They keep you in the Pacific Ocean because it's cold and it sucks, and have you do all these other crazy things. And you fail and you fail and you fail. But it doesn't matter. But one thing is constant during that week is they feed you 4 times a day. And so no matter how much it sucks, all you have to do is make it to that next meal. And so when I say make it to that next meal, I say that's creating small victories in your life. So yes. if you have like, you have this big thing that you got to do, well, break that thing up into bite-sized pieces. Maybe you need to, you're starting your business. Well, there's our steps. So figure out what those steps are and even make them smaller if you need to, and accomplish one step every single day until you get all the way to the end. Maybe you're writing a book, write a paragraph, write a sentence. That's yes. how you get there. And you write one paragraph every day. And in 3 years, maybe you have a book.
I'm currently on my 10th book, and I'm at the tail end of it. And it's literally, thank you. It's literally a process of just consistency. Everybody's like, wow, how'd you write 7 books in 7 years? Now you're on your 10th book in your career. And I'm like, one word at a time.
Exactly.
It literally is no harder than that. And some days I'm feeling it and going like crazy. Yep. Other days I'm like, I got nothing. So I step away, get some fresh air, come back. Okay, I can do a couple of paragraphs, and then I've done something. So you're right. Literally, everybody wants to take that big chunk all at one time, at whatever right. the big thing is that they want. And that's not how any successful person ever gets through life. It's always a little bit, lot of bit, lot of bit, lot of bit. And before long, you get to where you're trying to be.
Right. At least do the minimum. Create the minimum. Do the yes. minimum. And if you feel like doing more, that's awesome. That's a bigger win. But at least you got that small victory.
It's like the credit card. You can pay that $20 minimum balance, or right. you can take a chunk at it. I don't have credit card debt anymore. But when I did, there were some months I'm like, it's all I can do to do the min payment,
right?
And move on with life. So, what you got there? What's that big old drink?
This was just coffee.
Oh, that's your coffee. What's the
coffee?
What's the logo?
And this is
your logo.
It's my logo, yeah. And so you talked about the energy drink earlier. So I don't do New Year's resolutions, but last year, that's it. I probably around February. I don't do New Year's resolutions because I'm like, why would I wait till the beginning or the end of the year to start something? Like when I decide to do it, I just do it. And so I think around February last year, dude, that stuff is amazing. I decided I should probably drink a gallon of water a day. And so water is boring. And so I have this half-gallon hydro flask. I put a packet of the CBD energy drink in there, fill it with ice and water, and I do 2 of those a day. And that's how I roll. That's how I get my gallon of water. But I also, before I have while my first cup of coffee is brewing, I drink this cup of water, like first thing in the morning. So making these decisions, and I do it every day, that consistency, I can't drink a gallon of water until I drink a glass of water. Mm-hmm. So it's like creating those small victories, and the more victories that you achieve, the better you will feel, the more accomplished you'll feel, and the more stuff you'll get done, 1 step at a time, 1 inch at a time, 1% at a time. It doesn't matter. Just never quit. The A is accept failure, because we're talking about doing stuff, but failure is the master plan to success. I have learned more through failure than I ever have by doing things the right way.
I'm so glad you said it in that many words, William, because I feel like people think failure is the end. Failure, you guys, is just the beginning. Failure is congratulations, you're one step closer to the success you've been looking for. People, especially in the business world, they'll try a business idea and they'll quote unquote fail. I don't even like the word fail. It's a 4-letter F word. I don't really like that because I feel like people make it literally the 4-letter F word that everybody else thinks about. But it's not. It's literally that stepping stone to your eventual
100%.
success. Look, I had book publishers turn me down 3 or 4 times before I got my big break with a major publisher. And then once I got the big break, then I wrote 7 books in 7 years. And 3 of them were international bestsellers. And I'm writing one now that I'm going back to self-publishing again. And I'm writing one now that I think is the most important book I've ever done. And so it's like, I would have never gotten to the 10th book if the first book that I tried to write failed because other people didn't believe in it. I believed in it. I knew someday that I would get there. And here we are.
Here we are. And so I was actually doing an interview, I think yesterday. And, you know, the girl I was talking to, she said, failure is feedback. And I was like, that's beautiful.
Yes.
I love that. I love that analogy. I actually wrote a little email for my email people on that. So I'll share, you know, probably post that on Instagram later this week. But, you know, and I started thinking about that. I was like, you know, have you ever shot a steel target? I mean, not everyone has the opportunity to shoot steel targets, you know, close range, long range, or anything like that. But the beautiful thing about shooting a steel target versus a paper target is you get immediate feedback. You know if you hit that thing or not. Exactly. Ding!
I
ding,
did
ding,
that.
ding!
Oh, my dad said, here's a shotgun, shoot at that barrel over there, and say, you can see it blowing up. I grew up in Tennessee, so that's how we roll south. So.
Exactly. That's just how you got to do it. Not that different from Mississippi. They're touching. They're connected. So, but so failure is that master plan to get to success. You know, you mentioned it like it's a stairway. It's the rungs of the ladder. You know, Michael Jordan, he's missed more than 9,000 shots in his basketball career. He's lost more than 300 games. He missed more than 30 game-winning shots. And you know what he did every time he missed a shot in a game? He didn't go, whether he won or lost, he didn't go party with the team. He went back to the gym and he practiced that shot over and over in every scenario until he got it right. Elon, I started going into my keynote there, but Thomas Edison, the guy who created the incandescent light bulb, he discovered, and it's all about framing, he discovered 10,000 ways to not create the incandescent light bulb. He didn't have 10,000 failures. He had 10,000 ways to not create it. He just learned through failure. And that's the way that I look at failure. Most people don't. Most people, they fail something, they want to hide it and shove it under the rug. Hang that thing on the wall like it's a trophy. Hey, don't do this. I already know. This is like the master plan.
Let's do a baseball analogy. If you miss 2 out of 3 times at the plate, you are a Hall of Fame baseball player. If you swing and miss and strike out or whatever, or foul out or however, 2 out of 3 times, you are a Hall of Famer with a 333 average.
Right.
So how crazy is that? Did they succeed? Well, they missed 2 out of 3 times. So it's like you got to wrap your head around even the perception of what you think is failure might actually be success. It's like we set up success like it needs to be this perfect scenario, like every baseball player that gets in the Hall of Fame needs to bat 1,000. It's not going to happen. If they bat 400, we're like, oh my God, there must be an angel on top of their shoulder. How did they do that? Where 60% of the time they're still missing the ball. Right. So it is funny the way we conceptualize the concept of failure and reframe it. Failure is just, and I love failure is feedback. I've always said failure, missed opportunity, it's just information. And when you get that information, you take it, you learn from it, you grow from it, so that the next time you try not to fail or try not to have so much feedback the next time.
As badly, yes, exactly.
Have you experienced the dreaded keto flu? Did you know that most of these symptoms are actually due to your body dumping excess electrolytes? This is where Element comes in. Element is a tasty electrolyte drink mix with everything you need and nothing you don't. That means lots of salt, with no sugar. Element is formulated to help anyone with their electrolyte needs